Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be using this beautiful fabric to make a cowl neck top. And not cowl. So we're going to be making a cowl neck top. You've probably seen 1,000 of these on the Pinterest. It's all of these little numbers. But yeah, I'm quite excited. I hope you are too. Let's begin. These are some of the things that you'll need. I forgot to add in a stainless steel ruler as well as a marker, so just include that to your pile. First things first, we're going to have to measure ourselves. I measure myself around my bust and take note of that measurement for later. I then measure the length I want my top to be. Now we're going to move on to cutting the pattern pieces from the fabric. So I'm fortunate enough that my fabric's already cut in the width that I would want it, so I'm now only going to focus on the length. This first piece will make up the back of the bodice. Now for the front, I realized it's easier by folding the fabric in half. Measured out the length that I want the top, which is the end of the ruler, and I'm going to add 20 centimeters to the top to get the falling neckline. Don't worry, it looks skewed because of my camera angle, but it is in fact straight. Now, right side up, we're going to fold it 20 centimeters towards you and make sure it's 20 on either side. Once I've made sure it's 20 centimeters, I pin down the edges. Now I mark up 2 centimeters from either edge. Don't use a Koki like me, use a proper fabric marker, I just couldn't find mine. From this point I then mark up 14 centimeters down and then 1.5 centimeters to the side and connect the dots as follows. This is a technique that I learned from this woman Jess Dang. She has an amazing YouTube page, go and follow her, I'll add her link in the description box below. Then cut out these pieces. Now that this piece is done, it's the front bodice, we're going to move on to the straps. I just use the width of my ruler for these straps, they're small enough. And that makes up all the pattern pieces. Now let's assemble the top. First things first, I iron the 2 straps in half, as you can see as follows, and then straight stitch along the edge. Make sure to do this to both of the straps, I'm only showing you one. Now that that's done, we're going to flip them with a loop turner. However, I realized that because the straps are so small, I have to cut off the edges so that I can turn it inside out easily. So I'm just going to cut off the edges and then use the loop turner. Now the straps are turned inside out, I just need to iron them and they'll be ready to go. I realized I made my back bodice piece way too long, and without facing, so I'm going to just do that with this piece. I leave 3 centimeters just for safety reasons, and then just to make sure it's all at one length. So rather I'm cutting off than adding. I folded the piece that I want to use as interfacing for my back bodice piece, which I've made 10 centimeters, and then I'm just going to cut that off and save it for later. Okay, now to assemble the top for real this time. I'm going to take the straps and pin them in place and then sew along the curved edge. So I've made a mistake here, which I come to realize later on. I've pinned the sleeves inside out. They need to be facing the inside of the fabric. I'm straight stitching along the curved edge, leaving 0.5 centimeter as seam allowance. I then do the same process on the other side. I used a seam ripper to correct my mistake, and as you can see, this is how I fix it, making sure it's on the right side. Straight stitch to match the existing seam allowance. I then do the same correction on the other side. Here's what it should look like when you're done. I'm going to straight stitch the seam allowance to the facing so that the facing remains in place. Before doing that, I zigzag stitch the edges so as not to fray. I then straight stitch the seam allowance to the facing. Now the front piece is done, let's move on to the back. I then place this piece right side up, place the facing on top, right side's facing. I then use the ruler to roughly decide where I want my straps to be placed. Once decided, I then pin them in place, keeping in mind not to make the same mistake as the last time.
Ryan Little.
I then do the same on the other side. Once that is complete, I then pin down the back edges to the front edges and make sure to do the same on the other side. Straight stitch along this edge. As I straight stitch along the edge, I'm going to leave a 0.5 centimeter seam allowance. Once complete, I then follow with a zigzag stitch. Here I'm straight stitching the seam allowance to the back facing. This is so as the facing can remain in place when I wear it. I then straight stitch the front and the back edges together. Now that everything's sewn in place, I then try the top on and then cut off any excess fabric to the length that I want it to be at. This is an unnecessary step and one you can definitely skip. I just find that it helps me. I first go by zigzag stitching the edges. follow that with a double fold hem.
Ryan Little.
Once this is done, you can then iron the top and it's ready to wear. I hope you guys like this tutorial as much as I do. See you next time.